very car review fashion, I'm gonna do my 5,000 kilometer review on the E200P. You guys know that with the Segway Ninebot products, their finish is basically just top of the line. If you've ever tried their electric scooters or their electric unicycles or any of their other products, you know how well they're made. And this is no exception. Now, I haven't been gentle on this thing. You can see the scratches and everything that's happened to it during these 5,000 kilometers. So I'm gonna take you guys on a journey, tell you guys about my likes and dislikes about the E200P after 5,000 kilometers. So let's start off with the likes of the E200P. Now, the thing I like about the E200P is its precise throttle. This thing has a lot of torque. It's not really full power at the start. However, you can really feel it after 30 kilometers an hour. It still has plenty of get up and go. But that all means nothing if you don't have a precise throttle control. And you have that with the E200P. All the smart features, different ways to unlock the vehicle. I've been through that even in my first video. The auto lights. Now, this may seem like a standard function, but with most of these e-mopeds, sometimes you don't get that. And it's great that the E200P does. You have auto turn signals. And what I mean by that is, if you turn on the turn signal and you make a turn, it'll actually turn back off. Not right now because it's stationary. And the E200P has all these smart features. So many ways to unlock the vehicle. You guys know this, I've said that in the first video. There's a reverse function as well. When you hold down the cruise control and double pull on the brakes, it'll go in reverse. Now, those are features that are actually available in the Segway Ninebot app, lab inside the app. So to turn those on, you basically just connect the emoped to the app and you can enable that. Function that's being tested, it still works really well. So I'm not sure why that's just not standard. The scooter has amazing waterproof. There's been a lot of rainstorm in Shenzhen and I haven't had any issues. I guess that's thanks to all the IP ratings that this thing has. The waterproofing is just amazing. There's very little rattling of the scooter, besides the trunk that I've added on the back, which I guess is to be expected, but very little, there's no sound basically coming from anywhere else on the scooter. And ABS. I don't know how many times this scooter has saved me whilst riding on the roads in China. Having ABS is amazing. I can pull hard on the brakes and not having to worry about sliding out. And this thing will actually do 110 kilometers with 80 to 120 kilometers in range. That's pretty good. I've gone full throttle, full ham on the throttle, and I'm still able to cover about 100 kilometers in range. There's actually a modified controller that'll actually let you do 120 kilometers an hour, so 10 kilometers faster. But even with the standard E200P, there's basically not a hill you can't climb with this. There's a lot of these sky bridges in Shenzhen, and there's basically nothing I can't climb with this thing. I don't have to get off and push it like a lot of people do. Another great feature that I found, kind of accidentally, was the anti-theft feature on the battery. So let's say someone's stolen your battery, you can actually limit the use of the battery. So it'll actually limit the amount of power or availability of that battery if you report it missing. Now, there are a few dislikes about the scooter. Well, first off, there's a few bugs. There's been screen issues, there's been throttle not engaging, but these all are fixed when I restart the vehicle. Another thing I don't like is the suspension is a bit stiff. Now, the reason that is because the suspension is tuned for more racing, as I was told, and not so much for daily commuting. So the front suspension kind of bottoms out a lot more than I would like it to. I've bottomed out the front suspension quite a few times, yet there's been no permanent damage. It has gotten softer since obviously first riding it. I would like to change it probably sometime. And there's also the grinding disc brakes. Now, these disc brakes are the standard ones that you get with the E200P. You can modify it, but the standard ones, for some reason, it's hard to align with the disc brake. So even now, I'm still getting some noises from the disc brakes, both on the front and on the rear. Another thing I don't like is the front light. The front light isn't that bright. It's not bright enough, I would say. Maybe bright enough for if you're going 60 kilometers an hour, not if you're doing 100. So really, lights need to match with how fast the scooter goes. I've also damaged the rim a few times. So once on the front, this is a new rim, but I'll show you guys the footage of my cracked old rim. It's completely dead. And I've also bent the rear one. Let's see, you can kind of see it there. Kind of got to hammer it back into place. Not pretty. The Bluetooth function doesn't function as well as it should. It functions about 90% of the time. So there are times when I do come to this vehicle and I hit the go button, which is that green button there, and it doesn't unlock the vehicle. After sales though, it's easy to pop into a Ninebot store in China. Most of them aren't knowledgeable enough about how to fix this issue. They contact headquarters and headquarters pretty much just sends out a part. They have no knowledge about where the problem actually is and how to fix it permanently. I've been trying to fix this trunk issue for quite a while now, but it just won't lock. And I've replaced that too. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions on how to get the E200P to the USA, and the answer is I don't know. And if I did know, I'm not in the business of selling them. But be sure that Segway Ninebot is gonna charge you a whole lot of money for it, just like with their C80. The C80 costs $925 US in Shenzhen, but it costs more than $2,000 in the US. Shipping something like the C80 should cost nothing more than $100. But in the quantity that they're selling at, I assume it's probably cheaper. The lineup is entirely confusing when you walk into a store, to the point where the employees at the Ninebot store don't even know how to introduce the product. You have 4 A series, 4 B series, 4 C series, and these 3 lineups are very, very similar. They all look pretty much the same. And then you have 4 N series and 8 E series. That adds up to 24 emoped products from Segway Ninebot. That's just like their Segway scooter lineup. They have way too many products and it's confusing what to actually pick out. Now, I know it sounds like I have a lot of negative things to say about Segway Ninebot, but this scooter has taken me 5,000 kilometers pretty much worry-free. I mean, yes, there's been some issues, but most of that was just resolved by restarting the vehicle. Just simple bugs, I assume, happening in their firmware. The scooter has not left me stranded anywhere, as well as there's not been a hill that I can't climb with this thing. So overall, 10 out of 10 for me. The scooter is amazing. I mean, yes, I wish they fixed their other issues, but for the price of the scooter, there's nothing else on the market. As much as I wish this product was available in the USA for you guys to try, it's not. But I do hope that it does come soon to USA so you guys can try this for yourself. Thanks for watching.